you are a community club. DCFC is a community-built club. And it will always
team
be.
is pitching a plan to revitalize a historic gem in our community, and it's a project that's driven by their passion for their sport.
State of disrepair right now. Concrete sort of crumbling a little bit. The bleachers.
Football club. We're at Keyword Stadium. This stadium was built in 1936.
It's amazing to see just how far they have come. Years ago, they were playing over at Castech, and now so many people.
45 seconds that we scored the goal to really settle in. The post and Stephon St. Louis is there to clear it.
Yeah, in the background, you know, they give us the 12th man. You know, it's awesome.
Fans to watch. We're happy to put on a show for all these guys that came out to see us play.
When we moved, they moved, and just communication's the biggest part.
Great. I think we could have earned a shutout earlier against Sparta in the year.
Awesome. You know, the atmosphere is amazing. Monday with the right foot. It's in the back of the net.
People know us now. People know what to expect. Now we gotta take it to another level.
Look, city till I die. Say hi to the bad fella. Hella smooth with the flow, so grab your umbrella. Yeah, we make it rain, bring the pain. Things are changing. Power rankings take a spanking, got them rearranging. They said Denise are all stars till we deboed all y'all. Ball of fist and brawl y'all. Yeah, we pissed off all y'all, and we thin but still winning. Grinning at the top, got a pundit head spinning, make that chin pop. Blue collar clocking in. They been mocking us for days till they step into the key, and they been leaving with a fade. Doubting us, but then they swayed. Say we pout, they throwing shade. You will never have what we have, time to get the blade. Cause we'll be cutting them up, yeah, we're shutting them up. We ain't bluffing, tell you something, better knuckle up. Y'all ain't nothing but chumps, we put in overtime. We'll be putting in work until it's closing time. City till I die, talking blood, sweat, and tears. City till I die, we've been building this for years. City till I die, this don't happen.
Yeah, you know it's a 451 tunnel talk. That is a Jaime Ventura Zoom when you go into it and you hear, this meeting is being recorded. Which means shit's about to get fun, because right now Alan and I are waiting for the others here in the tunnel. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well.
Are you even more ecstatic after what took place this afternoon? And your guys are about to do it for a 4th straight year.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, no, it was a bit nerve-wracking. That's not a spot where I've had a lot of success in recent days, so I wasn't 100% confident of getting a result, but it was tough too. I mean, it was a difficult game, but even with a keeper injury, managed to see a couple of good goals.
Yeah, grinded your way out to that one. And this is perfect timing as Adam just gets into the chat. We can cease to stop talking about earlier this afternoon.
I have no idea what we're talking about anyways. So.
And all that stuff. And I'm
leave it up to the fucking Spurs to completely undependable. All I know is I'm a big West Ham fan. Huge West Ham fan. So.
Oh God, that's such a disgusting thing to say for the most part. Shout out to the Detroit West Ham crew. Know one or two of them. They're pretty cool. They show up to city matches. They give the clubhouse money, which I don't think the clubhouse is going to be open this Sunday. So if you're going anywhere to watch Premier League Sunday or Bundesliga Saturday or anything like that, ain't gonna be the clubhouse. Find somewhere else. So yeah. Meanwhile, yeah, you feel about Spurs like I feel about our Tigers bats when Reese Olson's on the mound. Adam and I bitched about it last night when the eventual.
We're not talking about baseball. We're talking about City.
Where no one else is here yet to talk about City yet.
Hey man, we've got 3.
You got 3. Yeah, you know what? We do got 3. Well, as much as we're like, oh, we're gonna go to Skype tonight. We're gonna go to Zoom. We're gonna go to Skype. Hire me to Zoom. What the fuck? Yeah. So, much like last week was the end of an era in one way, this is going to be the end of an era in another way this week, because I don't know how different this does to the videos moving forward. But instead of the like random pops-ins, I don't know. Adam, you know this. Are we going to have everybody faces and a whole reaction, or is this to be determined as we navigate these murky waters?
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see how everything works out.
Do we want to, while we're waiting for the others? So normally we're not gonna lie, we were planning on teasing everybody and giving everybody to looking forward to the owners meeting that's taking place. That was supposed to take place tomorrow night. That's been talked about for which surprisingly for the club, they months in advance, multiple emails, provided you get the emails about the owners meeting on May 15th. There's going to be this owners meeting on May 15th. No. And then today, due to unforeseen scheduling conflicts, the owners meeting has been postponed.
Interesting.
I mean, I know I had a very specific question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still going to ask it at some point.
Yep.
Should I ask it here?
I mean,
we won't tell. No.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
I mean, secret's safe here, right? I mean, nobody's going to find out.
No.
I mean, to however much of a crowd we get. I haven't checked our channel views post Open Cup to see if we like picked up that buzz and that wave.
People listen to this? Oh shit!
Wait, let's see here.
Oh.
Let me check.
I didn't know.
I do want to take a look at YouTube and see what.
Shout out to our loyal listeners and viewers.
I mean,
you
are
our world.
You guys are the lifeblood that keeps us wanting to just ramble on about stuff. Because, as Red told the new gaff best. So hey, we're at 85 views. So, which is actually for us pretty good. It's actually our highest video rating right now since. Fuck, I'm taking a look here. It's been a while. It's even more than our Q&A, our recap after the Q&A. So this is the most views on 451 Detroit YouTube since the player departure video we posted of Dickie Balls leaving after we stopped recording. So yeah, but no, people have been left and right. John Glazer showed up on the Tonight Show the day after we recorded. That was something.
It was.
Yeah.
I see he's jumping.
He even had Detroit City socks on.
Yeah. Legit head to toe. Legit head to toe city. Double birds. Much like, granted, it's not in its most purest form, but the Tonight Show is almost like an institution like death and taxes in this country. And to do it on that, if people don't know about us then, they know about us now. So, John Glazer, well done for you on that. Hope you earned all of that and you didn't have to pay a dime for any of that merch. But if you did, I mean, money well spent, bud. Who knows when the others are going to show up? Let's roll. So after John Glazer, there was our fun Saturday that started off with the two team getting their first win, I believe, of the year. A triumph at now what is at their Detroit Country Day as opposed to playing at Martin Luther King. I'm sure we were supposed to find out more about that at the owners meeting that was supposed to take place tomorrow. But due to unforeseen scheduling conflicts, we'll put make a graphic of that too. We won't know. So yeah. But then was the men taking on after knocking out the U.S. Open Cup champs earlier in the week. They took on the defending USL championship winners in Phoenix Rising, a game that was on CBS Sports Network, although a little bit later than anticipated due to Conference USA tournament championship tournament softball overrunning. Swing and a miss there, guys.
Well, people found out about the Ben Morris goal after the fact. So.
Yeah, Ben Morris, also known as Banger Morris, because the last 2 home games he scored great goals. He totally did that goal for Jaime Ventura for sure.
Why do you think Jaime's not here right now?
No, because Jaime doesn't want to face the music.
Right.
So it's one of those things. Can we talk about the fact that it was May 11th, and somehow the weather by the end of that match was potentially worse than our home opener on March 23rd that had a giant-ass mound of snow behind one of the goals? What the fuck?
I mean, it's early May in Michigan. I mean, we all know that can be the case. I mean, it can be like that this weekend. I mean, you're never safe really until June. So, I mean, I'm fully expect. Whether this weekend, whether this Saturday, conveniently.
Hey!
Anyway, that Ben Morris, I tell you,
Banger Morris.
The goal scoring machine.
Wait a second. I want to know if we are going to get a Declan style apology from Jaime this week for Mr. Benjamin Morris.
I gotta look up the Wikipedia.
Wait,
the public apology will be deferred until he has a strike rate of more than
oh my god
2 goals in 10 games.
He scored the last 2 home matches. What the fuck do you want?
A 50% strike rate, maybe, from our goal scoring machine.
Almost at 50% of his goal total from last season, like much earlier. Say this chance.
Garrett. Don't make me pull out the stats.
Oh god.
This
guy.
Please
pull him out.
Please pull the stats up. Please pull the stats up. Please pull the stats for one Benjamin James Morris. Yes, thank you, Wikipedia, for confirming that name.
Benjamin James Trevor Morris.
Ipswich Town lad.
That would have
Colchester,
to be his middle
England.
name.
Colchester, England, for originally.
Are you getting the stats?
I am, yeah.
That's right.
I see you wearing a Tiger shirt like you like I was through that earlier tonight.
Okay. You lay that card on the table. He's gonna pick it up.
So
2 goals this year.
In 2 fully professional years, he's got 4-30 and 6-33. Okay, so that's an average of 5 goals a season. Now, if we extrapolate 2-10, what is our season? 30-some games,
34 games.
Right. So we've played about 1/3 of the games. There's about 2/3 left. So if we forecast using a statistical model like John Morrissey's, we would find that he's on pace
plural for
6-ish goals, right? And that's not bad output for a right winger.
Okay.
Way better than my stats.
Yeah. But for me, that's not sufficient to be dubbed the goal scoring machine. Maybe there were a few other nicknames floating around.
Banger Morris.
Bangers.
Detroit City legend.
Come on.
Not yet.
I'm trying. I mean, it's like I said. I've been a big fan of his overall play in the right wing this year. But yeah, come on. Let's not get carried away.
when Jaime talks about love for right wingers, you know we're steps in the right direction. So obviously, this is baby steps. That's right. This is actually good analysis. This is a good.
That's what I tried to tell Garrett, Jaime, not to get carried away.
Dude, we set goals yesterday. We didn't meet the goals yesterday for recording, but we were paths in the right direction. Is the Del Taco bet on for this year?
The Del Taco bet number 2 is on, even though I'm yet to fulfill Del Taco bet number 1. But yes, Del Taco number 2, we're doing it again. I'll let you set the number. Or no, do you want me to set the number and we'll do over under?
All right.
Do you want me to set the
number? Tell you what. Let's ask Adam and Alan. Do you set the number, or do one of these two set the number?
I think Alan should set the number.
All right, Alan's gonna set the number.
What's the over under for betting this year?
Under. No wait.
8.
8?
Ooh.
Wait, but no, it's gotta be a half, right? Because if you say 8, what
happens then it's a push.
8? It's gotta be 7.5 or 8.5.
There's so many rules.
I'm just saying.
Since the Manchester City
well,
who has 115 charges against him.
Oh no! Here we go.
Okay. Sorry. Continue.
Allegations. I'd say 7 then, because 9 seems
7.5.
Wildly optimistic.
7.5.
7 is one more than last
7.5.
So I have to say
7.5 for.
Okay, so we're saying
European.
He's going to beat his output from last year by 2 goals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Okay.
So I say yes. Alan says yes. Adam, does he exceed?
But what does it matter what I think? I'm not in the Del Taco.
This is just for kicks. This is just for kicks.
For shits and giggles, man.
Bet is
7.5. What do you have last year? 5?
6.
6. Give me the over.
Wow. Okay.
We're gonna open it, and we're gonna open this up. We want since our dozens
my
of
bet
people.
my bet doesn't matter. I want to know what the Del Taco numbers are going to be.
What are the stakes?
Yeah.
Del Taco 2 Electric Boogaloo bet is this: if Ben Morris scores more than 7 goals this season, I not only get my bet from last year and this year. If he goes below 7, last year's bet is off, it's
double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
Yeah, it's double or nothing.
Double or nothing. In honor of AEW Double or Nothing next weekend.
There you go.
Your fault, Adam. You set this up.
I'm in, but I am going to buy Del Taco regardless. So.
What a guy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's French. That's paisans, bro. Mi gentes, right?
So if Ben Moore scores more than 7 goals, then Jaime owes Garrett 2 trips to Del Taco. Okay.
See,
Ben Morris scores more than 7 goals. He owes all of us Del Taco.
And he has to shave his head.
Oh, okay, that's pushing it.
Not necessarily in that order.
Unless he's donating the fucking like a Locks for Love or Wigs for Kids, then yeah, let's do this as a charitable endeavor for 451. But
we don't condone gambling here at the channel 451, but we will participate in it.
Yeah. We're equal opportunists when it comes to that game. I think let's have some. Maybe we drop a poll this week after we record. Let's see what the people say. I want to see how many people say yes and how many people say no. And who knows? Maybe there'll be some more poll stuff on here.
I hope Ben Morris sees it too, and it just like.
I would love that. If that motivates him to score 20 goals this year, I'll be happy to buy Garrett 3 Del Tacos. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I get overboard here.
I mean, yeah. Well, we're going to get in there. I think we might go down to 3 real quick and then pipe back in real there as Alan is now temporary host.
I've always wanted this power,
dude. Really?
I don't know what it does.
Remember that time where all of
that note?
What was it?
Proceedings grind to a halt.
when was it everybody named their thing Adam in the event that Tammy was coming on and Jaime was trying to switch to fucking hosts and he kept doing it to
No, everyone changed their name to Garrett, and Jaime kept on trying to put Garrett as the host, but he didn't know which Garrett was the actual Garrett.
That's what that moment reminded me of for Jaime just now. So yeah.
Okay. My hosting was short-lived, I see.
But it was fun while it lasted.
It was a blast.
It was like, we had a lead for 50-ish minutes, maybe 45-ish on Saturday.
The game.
Bangor Morris in the 9th or 10th minute. I think the feed from James to Maxi to then Ben was sweet because looking at that dead on, I thought we were going to go out to the white flank and pump it in, so that completely caught not only I think Phoenix off guard, but also us in the tent area. Justin could not contain himself in the media tent. That was fucking hilarious. Then Phoenix made some adjustments at halftime, set piece, little quick flick. And apart from Reese Williams coming back for his first game in a month, really was just a 1-1 grind. So how are we all feeling? Are we satisfied with that result after that? Or do we feel like we could have achieved more based on everything that's taken place, not just earlier in the week, but the last couple? Alan, how are you feeling?
Well, given the Open Cup games for both teams,
it
was really going to be a test of endurance, whose legs were going to hold out longer. And we definitely were showing signs of wear and tear as we proceeded in the second half. I think if we could have just held on to that 1-0 lead a little longer, I think we would have been okay.
Right.
It was an unfortunate point to give up the goal, and we kind of regrouped after that and withstood additional attacks on the goal. I think they had 3 shots on goal in the second half. Phoenix, and
they could have had more too.
So it was second half was rough, but given the circumstances, I think we were pretty fortunate to hold the draw, get the point. It's just like you wanted more, but I didn't think it was very realistic to think that they could give more.
Phoenix, I know, was definitely banged up as well. Darius Formello, one of their strikers, was actually had a birth of a child on Wednesday. So he not only did he make the trip for Detroit on Saturday, he didn't make the trip to North Carolina. So
that guy needs to sort out his priorities.
But
you can always have more kids.
Yeah, I mean,
how many opportunities are you going to get to play
in Detroit?
In
Keyworth,
during this season.
What are you getting at there, Gary?
Oh, hey.
USL schedules, man.
Edit
USL
point.
schedules. Jaime, how are you feeling after that?
I think good. I mean, Alan's right. It's like not just the physical part, but like the mental part. Like that's a draining game on Wednesday to go through. 120 minutes, and then obviously the penalties, and just like
Tuesday for us, you're talking about, right?
Or Tuesday.
Phoenix had 120 on Wednesday.
I was thinking ahead to our next U.S. Open Cup game, which is on a Wednesday, which I might actually be able to go to.
All right.
Shit. Please don't let it be 120 again. Fuck.
But yeah, I mean, not the best game we've ever played, but I think under the circumstances, it'll take a tie. And still with our games in hand, we could go top of the table. So I think we're in a pretty good spot here for middle of May.
Adam, I'll have you close on this one. We had the good pleasure of chatting Owen Evans, contributor for does a Phoenix Rising fan cast as well as Phoenix sports stuff. So it was good to chat just football in general, and I know he really enjoyed the Keyworth experience as well. He had some good photos that he took from the set that we recommend. That I think I retweeted it from there. How are you feeling about the match in addition to that, and also the 65-38 that showed up and showed out in a couple different ways?
Yeah, it was a good crowd. All things considered, the weather especially, was the typical, early to mid-May weather. It seems like in Hamtramck in Detroit. So, yeah, it was good to see that crowd come out. And as far as the game goes, I think expectations were modified a little bit after a very emotional, crazy week that they had. With Tuesday, coming back from 2 down, coming back from being down twice, and winning in penalties.
Coming from behind in penalties too.
Yeah, coming from behind in penalties. It was. Yeah, I think everybody was just emotionally and physically drained Saturday. So yeah, it would have been nice to come away with a win, definitely, obviously, but getting a point against a Phoenix side that completely annihilated you last year on the road, especially on Garrett's mom's birthday. They should all still feel massive amounts of shame for that.
Those pendejos.
Listen here, I'll be responsible for swearing in Spanish. Okay.
They were in the desert.
What was that 5-0 that we lost to them last year?
Yep.
And then I woke up the next morning to words that said Sean Mann from Nolan that they had to persuade Trevor to step aside from coaching. That was a fun 48 hours. So, Adam, as you were saying.
No, so yeah, I mean, yeah, both teams, the legs look like they're getting ready to fall off. Phoenix definitely looked better that second half, but what can you say? I mean, coming away with a point against the defending USL champions on a very short week in bad weather. Hey, whatever. We get the point. We move on and look ahead to taking on those, diet MLS Indy 11. So, and the Open Cup.
We'll definitely talk about that. We'll do a little.
See, look it. Jaime's so upset and so ready to, just destroy Indy. He had to leave the room.
That gives me a good time to do a brief little what happened around the league. Loudoun goes across country after drawing us on the 4th, beats Orange County, knocks them out of the Open Cup, hosts a winless El Paso team, and loses 0-2. You fucking scrubs.
Magic of the Cup.
Magic of the Cup. Speaking of the Magic of the Cup, Hartford, who exited the Cup our previous round, nil Colorado Springs 2, Louisville 3-0
against Allen's third favorite team.
Louisville City
NYFC too, right?
Oh, wow.
They're part of the ecosystem.
Doesn't Jaime love Girona? Also part of the city ecosystem. I mean,
you know what? Oh, one second. NYFC
State Football Group owns a lot of clubs. I don't follow all of them.
NYFC 2, is it true that they got $25,000 for being the last amateur team in the Open Cup?
Get the fuck out of here. No.
Technically Division 3, so yes.
I thought it was El Fairlino.
No.
They got it in the previous. They got the
last year.
So Saudi oil, whoever they are,
UAE, Newcastle, Saudi. Let's be completely exact.
I thought it's UAE. It's not Saudis who own
UAE.
NYFC?
It's UAE. City. Saudi Arabia is Newcastle.
So they have that. So they have $25,000 in between the cushions or in between the seats of their Maseratis. But yeah, NYFC too comes away with $25,000.
Orange County continued their horrendous losing vibes, 3-0 at Louisville. Rhode Island 2, Sac Republic 2. So Tampa Bay Rowdies blew a 4-0 lead in the Open Cup on Wednesday to Birmingham Legion. Not just 4-0. 4-0 up in the 82nd minute. You let in 4 fucking goals. They won 6-4 in extra time. But then they lost to the Legion 3 days later in the league 0-1.
People aren't talking near enough about that.
Tulsa, two other teams that paid each other again after facing each other in the Open Cup, Tulsa and Pittsburgh. So Tulsa during the week went in and beat Pittsburgh in Highmark because that's just fucking funny, Steel Army. However, Tulsa was decided to jump out to a 2-0 lead at their whack-ass baseball field of a stadium, and then Pittsburgh equalized twice. So no one really wins in that battle there. San Antonio won, Las Vegas Lights won. Can we give a shout out to the Lights because they not only beat San Antonio earlier in the year, but then they drew in San Antonio. Geezer, what has your club become? Shout out, buddy. Hope you're all doing well. Get ready for those that are making the trip at the end of October. New Mexico 2, Oakland Roots 1. So New Mexico continuing the good vibes after knocking out Real Salt Lake in the Open Cup last Wednesday. Monterey Bay 2, Memphis 2. That weather looked awful from the highlights that I saw of that game. And then Sunday, Miami FC 1, Fuck Us MLS 3, aka Indy 11. We'll get to more why they're called that if we're going to talk what's the game next week. Currently going on, North Carolina 1, Loudoun 0 in the 50th minute. Tomorrow, Legion Battery. We are off this weekend.
Is that playoff bound North Carolina FC?
According to some people's
they currently
preseason.
hold.
I heard there were some people who thought they were going to be like 96% sure to make the playoffs. Approximately.
As it stands right now, if their result holds tonight, they hold the last spot in the Eastern Conference. Granted, they've played 2 more games than some people, but they currently held 10.
10 points out of 10 matches.
9 goals scored out of 10 matches. What are they, Detroit City in 2023? I mean, to be fair, North Carolina still scored more goals at this point than City did last year, but
the thing about this schedule is we've had, I don't know what, like 10 bye weeks or something like that.
We're about to get destroyed in the summer.
We're going to have a lot of fixtures. It's going to be backloaded. And I know some of that was intentional in terms of the weather, and then some of it was just the screwy schedule after the what you call it dropped out and
RGV.
But yeah, and
shout out mi gente, shout out.
But I mean, good for the guys. You know, they can rest up after this difficult week, but it's hard. The table's going to look whack.
So
until some of these games in hand are played.
So if you're like, hey, Tunnel Talk lads, what if I want to watch? I still want to watch USL Championship this week, and City's not playing. What are the matches? So we mentioned tomorrow is Legion Battery. Friday there's 2 matches. Switchbacks hosting Rhode Island. El Paso versus Memphis 901 in the. Can we do the battle between 2 teams? Can they do somewhat better in the Western Conference? Indy Hartford at 7 on Saturday. Then Loudoun Monterey Bay, Riverhounds North Carolina, Rowdies FC Tulsa, Roots Orange County, Las Vegas Lights hosting Louisville, Phoenix Rising taking on Miami. So
we can go and watch the Michigan Stars take on Club de Lion this weekend.
Bleu de Lyon.
Will be.
I believe
Hold on.
The correct pronunciation.
Is that at Bring Your Own Seat Stadium in Washington Township?
I don't know. Probably not.
It's at the Land of the Children of the Corn. It's at Baraboo in Norman. Come
on, Jay, we can go to Torritos or where the hell that place is called. Or Taquitos. Taquitos, is that what it is?
hold on. I got to nail it right. Shout out to Tourette's at 29
Oh,
Mile.
Tourette's.
Like 4 minutes from Barabel Field and the best Mexican restaurant that you can find north of M53. Way the fuck out there. So, speaking of, where the fuck is our co-host / Nice's financial analyst, Rod Green? Oh, wait. He's taking care of business tonight. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
He has some business to attend to tonight. But, like, also, Rod's also making sure business. Need some players get played? Stay tuned from Rod next week. He'll give us an update on what's going on with that. So, the City's men are off until the 22nd. Do we want to talk about what's next for them, or do we want to go into for the women? Talk about the women's match this past Saturday and what's coming ahead this Saturday.
Let's finish up the men.
All right,
and then get into the women.
So, I don't know if we're going to be gathering in Tunnel Talk before next Wednesday, May 22nd, 7 p.m.
Probably not.
But round 16 of the U.S. Open Cup. For the second time in less than 2 months, Detroit City gets to travel down the highway to Indianapolis to take on Indy 11. Are they playing at Carroll or are they playing at Butler?
Carroll.
Okay, They're playing at Carroll. Okay. So tickets are pretty cheap for this U.S. Open Cup. Any season ticket holders, the club is offering bus shuttle transfer on there, which those that in the know can provide more details on that. I don't know if this match is going to be easier to access or not because it's U.S. soccer in the Open Cup this year. But it's not just Indy 11, Detroit City. As Northern Guard supporters tweeted out last week, so beautifully, might I add, it is, well, since Indy's the home team, we'll say it this way. It's fuck us MLS versus fuck you MLS.
Oh.
This is already the best matchup of the
Such language in this podcast.
Think of the fucking children.
Shocking.
So it is more. Finally, we always talk. I felt like going into this year, I was like, man, there's no disdain for Indy like there is for Pitt and Louisville. How things have changed. Adam, you get to take the lead on this one. Talk about how you're feeling about the match on the field, off the field, and things in between.
I don't want to get ahead of myself or anything like that. And at this point right now, City has gone further than they ever have in the Open Cup. Am I right?
Woo!
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shoot you motherfuckers.
The round is 16, so they're in the Sweet 16 right now.
Oh, yeah.
Heading down to Indianapolis, where so many NCAA tournaments have taken place in the past.
You're just setting the road for when we get Spence on for later down this week for our side gig.
What's crazy is that City has a shot to be the final 8 teams in the country in the Open Cup, which is unbelievable. And they win this match. Obviously, they're probably going to be going up against another MLS side in the next round. Well, actually, how many MLS sides are left? How many came in? 8? Is there 6 left?
There should be only 6 left.
And then New York City 2, I think, right?
Yeah. New York City, yeah.
So a not so magnificent 7 right now?
Yeah. So, it's pretty incredible, especially considering too, Indy 11 have been a team that this team has already beaten and looked pretty good against on the road. Yeah. So, yeah, the expectation is going down there and having another good game and beating them, especially considering too, the team is going to be healthier with Reese being back, and they should be more rested, considering the time they're going to have off here. So you got to feel good about it. But you can't take anything for granted either. It's still going to be a tough game. It's going to be a nerve-wracking game, and it's probably going to be a really close game as well. I don't expect us to go down there and win 3-0 or anything like that. I expect it to be, 1-goal game, if not going to extra time. But it's going to be a close one. It's going to be a nerve-wracking one, but I'm expecting us to go down there and win.
You want to talk about anything off the field related with the two teams?
What? How Indy is giving Don Garber back rubs and foot massages, and
that's it.
Am I missing something?
No, I think you're in the right direction on that. I didn't know that was all they done.
I mean, I don't want to give those. I don't need to give those fucks any more extra time here.
You don't need to go into graphic detail here.
Yeah,
what they're doing to Don Garber.
I mean,
nobody wants to hear that.
My God, we know what they're trying to do. They're a city that wants to have an MLS side come in and screw over their town. That's what they want. So, if it's whatever, I don't care. Who's next?
Good call. I am going to go Alan for this one because on there, and then Jaime to close it on that. Alan, your thoughts on, off, and all things in between.
I mean, the benefit of this matchup is we're familiar with them, and we'll be able to plan better. Mm-hmm. So, it's going to be a tough game. I agree with Adam that this is a game that both teams are going to want to win big time. So it's going to be all out. But at least we'll know what we're working with and be able to plan on. So I think it should be a good match. As for all the ridiculousness going on in Indy, hey, that's their own bag. It's like no matter how bad things are in North American football, it always seems to get worse. So in this case, you had a team, a club that was literally preparing their new stadium, doing groundwork already, and the mayor says, "Oh, well, let's not do that anymore." Well, yeah, let's just set up something different. And just there's like personal animosity between Indy's owner and the mayor, and who knows? The mayor will be gone in 2 or 3 years, so who knows where this will all land? Who knows what Garber told them in terms of promises for the future? He may have just patted them on the head and said, "We'll give you a call." So nothing is clear, and even the Indy Park or whatever they're calling it, 11 Park or whatever, the new stadium has its own issues having to do
picking up dead bodies.
What was there? What was underneath their stadium ground? Mm-hmm. So sounds like there's nothing good going on there. So hopefully we can make their lives even worse by knocking them out of the U.S. Open Cup.
Couple quick things too regarding this. Well, actually, one quick thing. Two quick things. Is nobody should be surprised that Indy is doing this, considering it seemed like this was their plan the entire time to eventually go to MLS. Second thing is MLS wasn't calling for them, it was Garber, it sounds like Garber wasn't picking up the phone and talking to the Indies mayor or anything like that. Be like, hey, you guys need to come on over. We really, really want you guys as the next franchise in MLS. I mean, it sounds like this is all coming from Indy. They're like, oh yeah, let's do this. Let's pander to MLS in the hope that they accept us into their into their organization here. And if this
I thought you were going to say the MLS family.
The MLS family. There you go. Yeah, the MLS family. There you go.
Oh my god. The MLS universe.
Yeah, it's like a YMCA.
Thanksgiving dinners at that family table. Oh.
Yeah,
oh.
it's like YMCA Livonia is joining up with YMCA Redford, and it's just one big happy family now. But you know damn well that if Detroit or Tampa or Phoenix wanted MLS in their city, MLS there wouldn't even be a question. Don Garber would be on a flight to either one of those cities in a day or two, and there would be Garber heads and everything like that. That's one thing I want to see, though. I want to see city fans descend upon on Indianapolis next Wednesday night with Don Garber heads in tow. I want to see Garber heads at Carroll Family Stadium, wherever the fuck that place is called.
Track and field, yeah.
Whatever. Who gives a shit?
I always think it's funny that Brickyard Battalion fans were pissed off at the mayor's press conference about the thing and it's MLS, only for Indy's owner to then be like, yeah, we want MLS too. It's just the difference is how we want to approach it. And then Brickyard Battalion being like, oh, come on, we're ready too. Yeah.
Yeah, choose us. It was never about keeping MLS out. It was just we want to be the team. We want to be the MLS team.
10 play soft, folks. 10 play soft. Mr. Ventura.
Go ahead, Jaime.
See us out on this, especially you're going back to Indy, potentially.
Yeah, I'm trying to work that out. I did. I thought my boss was out of the office this week at a conference. Or no, I thought it was next week is what I thought. Turns out it's this week. So now I may have a little bit less flexibility in my schedule. But still trying to make it happen. I think Alan and Adam are right. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tight game, probably an ugly game. My money would be on a shootout again, just because it seems like these Open Cup matches, they're just kind of clawing at each other, and such are the stakes. But yeah, we're definitely going to win. And if it doesn't go to a penalty kick shootout, we'll definitely be winning 4-0. So
there you
go. This is where for a Detroit City team that has seemed to be playing constantly since the season started on March the 16th, I think they had 1 week and off before Open Cup. Indy has to play Hartford at home on Saturday. They played already this past Sunday. So if there's an event, I consider that an advantage to us to get some rest that we need, especially Reese getting sharper and more back into the team drills and whatever else that means for any other bumps and bruises that this team has. It'll be fun. It'll be exciting. Let's talk about something else that has opened up this season in exciting form, and that was our W League side. The ladies went up the highway to Atwood Stadium in Flint this past Saturday, taking on a Flint City team that, as Adam mentioned in our recording yesterday, went undefeated in regular season league play before Indy trounced them in the playoffs. They started off this year with a loss because of the Detroit City ladies. Rolling out in what Sean Spence referred to in Dave Dwayhe's shape as a Brazilian 4-4-2, or basically 4 with 2 holding mids, 2 attacking mids, and 2 strikers on there. A little great ball movement. Lilly Jeakle on the right wing. Great move. Feeds it over. Emily Paget. Low shot right into the corner. 1-0 to the visitors. LaRouge, 3 points to start the year. Flint City has to now come to Keyworth this Saturday for the city home opener. How are we feeling on that? Jaime, lead us.
What did you just say? A Brazilian 4-4-2?
That's how Spence put it in his words about shapes.
Thought it looked a little bit more like a Bulgarian 4-4-2 personally, but
oh shit, we got Risto Stoikov over here.
No, it was a really impressive match. I was coaching a game actually up 23, so I just thought, why not drive another 20 minutes, catch the women's game in person. I'm just gonna say that Lilly Jeakle is for real. She is a complete beast, and the difference from last year to this year, like she made a couple cameos, and you can tell she's like a good player, like, but still look kind of like a kid. She was by far the best player on the field in that game, and her strength and speed that she has gained in the last 12 months is noticeable. The fastest player on the field by far. And she just was all over the place. She played all 90 minutes, popped up on the wing, played through the center, tracked back. She's just an absolute force of nature. And she was really unlucky not to score. There was a moment in the second half, maybe Kayla had it, I think. And she opted for maybe an inadvisable shot when a square pass for Jeakle would have been a pretty simple tap-in. But, I mean, she had, I think, one shot off the bar, forced several good saves out of the keeper. I mean, she's unreal to see her out there. And I thought the other player that I thought was really impressive is this new Chiampa, who's another high schooler. She was playing mostly on the right side, but really another really good, technically gifted player, really fast. So yeah, it was really impressive to see. It really wasn't as close as 1-0. Like it could have been a much more ample margin of victory for Detroit City. So I think it's encouraging from the standpoint that historically the women's team has gotten off to slow starts, a lot of ties, a lot of some losses early, and so to get off the mark with a win and 3 points, I think bodes well for how the season could go, and hopefully this year be in contention for a playoff spot. So yeah.
So to name the full starting 11, Gabby Schreiber in goal. From right to left defensively, Maya Sulis, Acadia Murphy, Avery Peters, Drew Martin, and then in the middle, Tatiana Mason, Lily Bosley, and then Aubrey Chiampa, as you were saying, Emily Paget, and then Adele Francis and Lily Jekyll. So a subs bench that was Allie Childers, Kayla Addison, Kate Childers, Hannah Crum, Alexandra Tefano, Megan Miles, and Dayton Weimer. So, Alan, what was your takeaway from it?
Yeah, I was able to catch most of the game after the men's match was over. Got back home, and it was a good match. And yeah, what everyone said about Jekyll is like, wow, they really stand out. So she was constantly dangerous. The other thing that's kind of stuck out for me is Gabby made some big saves too. So we're relying on that veteran presence still. There was a few that I thought Flint City probably should have scored, and it was really well handled by Gabby. Kayla did come in towards, I think, the middle of the second half. Did get a few looks. There's just so much talent in the pool that Dwayne has to pick from. So I imagine deciding on the starting lineups are going to be quite a chore because there's a lot of players who should get some playing time. But hopefully after our first couple matches, and of course we play Flint City again in the home opener this Saturday, kind of know what the core is and build off of that. So, I mean, certainly looks promising. We haven't had a lot of success playing Flint City, so if this is a level where we're going to compete, then that's very promising.
Hell yeah. There was only one other game played in the Great Lakes division of W League this past weekend, and that was on Sunday. It was Kalamazoo taking on Ann Arbor. That was a 1-1 draw. So, City opens up that already with a little lead in the division is a great start. Adam, why don't you give us your thoughts on it? I know we talked a little bit about it last night, but I think some exciting times lay ahead.
Anybody know Flint was ranked heading into the season? Were they ranked like 5th?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll consult my model. my projected points model.
Oh God!
Can you give me? Jaime.
I got it. I found it.
What is it?
W League preseason rankings. Flint City was 5th. So was Indy 11-1, North Carolina Courage under 23, Eagle FC from Pennsylvania, San Francisco Glens, then Flint City, and then
So Detroit City, the women's side, went on the road and took down the preseason number 5 team in the
we are now 7th.
And they did it convincingly too. Yeah. They did it convincingly. It wasn't one of those games too where City got a lucky bounce and put it in the back of the net. It wasn't one of those.
Right.
I thought that Jaime hit the nail on the head when it came to Lilly Jeakle and how she looked on the pitch last year in comparison to this year. She was the best player and the most dangerous player on the pitch Saturday night.
Right.
She was in on everything. She was all over the place in a good way. And we saw it last year how she was able to kind of receive some of those passes. The way she received that pass Saturday night turned that defender inside out.
Yep.
The defender was looking over her shoulders and Lilly was gone. And then having the wherewithal to find her teammates, just inside the box, who ended up putting it away was incredible. It's incredible for any player to do that. When you come to the realization that Lilly is still only 15 years old,
mm-hmm.
it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing to think that that she is this good. She's the best player. She was the best player on the field Saturday night, playing against other players who are in college, who are out of college. Yeah.
College starters. Yeah.
Exactly.
Not North Carolina for a couple of these. I mean, some big schools.
ACC, yeah.
And then doing that. Then the other Lilly Bosley. She a freshman, or was she a freshman at Michigan?
Yeah.
Is that where she came from?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another one too. The talent on this team this year, they kind of fell under the radar. Considering we didn't really know who was coming back. Well, we had an idea, obviously, who was coming back, but
it's hard to fall off the radar when you're not on the radar.
That's true.
You know what I mean? What? I still don't understand why the club hadn't made any of these announcements.
That's true.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Again, we could ask him about the meeting that was supposed to take place tomorrow, but for I forget what I air quoted earlier.
Unforeseen circumstances or something.
Unforeseen scheduling conflicts.
I have questions. I need answered.
But who knows?
I have some questions about a particular place in the city that was recently purchased, and I need to know some connections to that. But yes, holy shit! And this women's team is going to be fun too. I can't wait till Saturday night. I hope. That's my only concern right now is how much is Lilly Jeakle going to play for this team, considering she still is only 15 years old? Is she? I hope she's playing this Saturday night because I want to see her single-handedly destroy Flint City again. That's what I want to see this Saturday.
So Flint City was ranked in 5th out of 10 in the preseason rankings, going into week 2 in USL-W league. This is nationwide top 10 going into week 2. Detroit City are 7th now. People know now. And 7 p.m. Saturday, Flint City, coming into Keyworth, the women's home opener. If we got any scoreline predictions, or if we feel like what we're coming out with it on there, Jaime.
I'm gonna say Detroit City Football Club 4, AFC Flint
5,
Town 0.
Ooh, just swinging for the fences. Alan.
I'm thinking 2-0 for Detroit City. I think we'll take what we learned in the first game, put it to good use.
Adam.
2-1 City. One other thing too, how important it is for somebody like Lilly to come around like that is because considering we don't have Sid and we don't have Kenna White this year.
Right.
Both of them are gone this year.
And no Bryn Gardner and no Ellie Poole. I mean, those are two of our leading scorers for the last couple of years. So
fresh back line with Ella Karolak gone too.
And Ella, who was a huge part of the team last year. So, although apparently her little sister's playing on the team, I don't know. Come on, sort it out, Karolax.
Aventura never forgets.
Karolak has overtaken the wins.
Maybe not quite that far.
Adam, you said 2-1.
Detroit City AFC.
I feel like we're going to get a clean sheet again. I just don't know if we're fully clicking enough to get more than. I'm going to go 2-0. I think we're finding the right strides. We're playing in common ground pitch. And I also, y'all, if you're not doing anything Saturday night with the men being off, please show up to Keyworth.
Even if you are doing something, cancel those plans, man. Get out there and support the women's team.
Right.
Support the women's side, and not only that, too. You're going to be enjoying an absolutely fun side on the pitch this year. Have no doubt about it. It's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a fun game.
It's so hard. I mean, it's hard to predict these games too, just because.
And I think Flint.
You never know who's going to be playing in it. Too.
Right.
So
I think Flint are going to try, and I think Flint are going to try to be on a jump to try to turn it around. But I think it's going to be a fun match in general. So get your asses to Keyworth if you haven't yet. If you haven't gotten your ticket, get your damn ticket. 7 p.m. Saturday. Real quick, the rest of the schedule in Midwest this weekend. Michiana Lions in South Bend, who are women are going to go face on Thursday the 23rd in South Bend, the day after Indy for the men. They take on Kalamazoo. AFC Ann Arbor on the 19th takes on Kalamazoo. So Kalamazoo's got 2 in 3 days. They're third and 7. They always do this to themselves. Midwest United host Michiana Lions on the 19th, and then play Kalamazoo has another game 3 days later, going to Midwest, and then we take on Michiana on the 23rd. And then AFC Ann Arbor, Cleveland on the 24th. Cleveland's got to play 2 games in 3 days because then they go to Flint on the 26th, Michiana, Midwest on the 26th, and then we'll talk about the next round of matchups then later on down the line when we record, because the next matches after that will be after Memorial Day week. And so fun times laying into ahead. Like I said, seriously, the women are going to be a lot of fun to watch on the field this year. Michigan Soccer Network, great job on the coverage on Saturday. It was cool.
Yeah, it was good.
It was cool to see somebody other than us in W League give the W League or women's coverage the respect that it should and put an effort into it. So great job. I'm thinking those are the couple people we might have met at Open Cup that were covering the game and involved in the presser afterwards. So great job. I know they're also doing soccer coverage around the state. Even I think they're covering Sharda's niece's coverage too. So they're doing a lot of work on there. So they're starting to make themselves known in there. And I know Neil's doing some stuff with Michigan Soccer Network as well for some podcast stuff that they're doing. So that is essentially there. I think we've essentially let's get to some closing thoughts. Alan, why don't you lead off on this?
I had something in mind. It escapes me now. So okay. I come to the game on Saturday.
Yeah, and if it comes back to you, pop the light. Adam.
Do you guys, open-ended question for you guys, do you think that there's going to be, what kind of reaction do you think we're going to get moving forward after that Dynamo win? Like nationally? Because it seemed like there was some attention after that Columbus win. Do you think that this really affects the direction of this team moving on from here on out?
Talking on and off?
Yes. Do you think that there's going to be any type of I don't know, positive or negative reaction as we move on through this season after what happened? This is the second time we've beaten a MLS side. This time it was on the road, and we've already discussed that this was, I thought it was the biggest win in club history. And I mentioned last week too on the show that, this is one of those wins, whether, I don't know if you agree with it or not, that this is one of those wins that, kind of rattles the foundations a little bit of soccer in this country.
Well, we beat an MLS team. New Mexico United beat a MLS team. So we gave MLS World Headquarters 2 headaches in this round. I mean, this is gonna bang his hand on the table and say we're done with this. So it could drive MLS out of the competition for good. Maybe. I did see a little uptick in terms of local coverage from some of the stations that usually don't give us any at all. Mm-hmm. So that was helpful. That's fleeting, but it helps to at least remind them occasionally that, oh yeah, there is another pro team in town, and
he's pretty good.
That does stuff, and has been for 10 years now, or longer. Though it doesn't seem to really register on some of the sports desks and some of the TV channels in town, but. So that's helpful. In terms of long-term impact, I don't know. It just we got to keep on doing what we do. I think making it to a round of 8, or quarters or whatever you want to call it, that can be a big deal.
I think I almost argue in a way too. Not just the win itself is big over Houston. Glazer on the Tonight Show is big off the field in a way because you're given a huge ass platform to basically cause people to maybe want to look into this thing and take the
and
wave.
It really annoyed Houston fans a lot.
Yep. It annoyed.
So that's got to be worth something.
I think if I'm at USL HQ in St. Pete, you've made strides in growing your brand this last year or so with the deals you're starting to do. CBS, not just CBS, not just Paramount, CBS as a network, CBS Sports, the coverage on that. You got a Super League side women's D1 sanctioning that's starting in the summer. You got an opportunity here to make something out of this. Are they going to do it? Ball's in their court.
In some ways, you worry about what this, if you're opening a Pandora's box in some sense.
Yeah.
And what you've potentially awakened. I mean, is this going to? I can't remember. It was Garrett who mentioned it a few minutes ago. Is this one of those things that is going to keep MLS away for another, decade? Or is this going to be one of those things that finally gets some of these local businessmen, local billionaires, because we have them. We have plenty of them here. Whether it's the Illiches, whether it's the Goreses, whether it's the Fords, whether it's the Gilberts, whether it's the Penskes, you can go on.
Yep.
Is this one of those things where it catches their eye? They hear about this local soccer team who took down another MLS side, and all of a sudden you have John Glazer going on the Tonight Show wearing, that team's merchandise head to toe, given the double birds on the Tonight Show.
You got Ally doing advertisements on television.
Yes.
And those advertisements end with Detroit City people and kids and Detroit City kids.
Is this that instance where it finally catches the eye of these billionaires, or it probably already had caught their eye before, but is this the one where they go to the current owners, where they go to Sean, Alex, and are like, hey, what's your price tag for this again? Because would anybody really blame them for Gilbert coming in and finally meeting their price tag and taking that money?
Or Matt Van Long, Dutch last name, buying more of a share.
Trekkengas?
Yeah, and taking in, and actually, not just being an investor, but being an investor that just has some say in what's going on.
I mean, Matt Ishbia, is this going to catch his eye and have him come in and be like, hey, what do you want for this?
Apparently, UWM employees get discounted tickets. I learned that was been a thing.
That's something that, considering the landscape of U.S. soccer, considering where we are at in terms of a market, it's something that we can have fun with this. We can have fun with that win. We can be obviously incredibly proud of it and what we've been able to do. But again, given the landscape of soccer in this country, I think that has to be on the back of everybody's mind.
Also, remember what happened 2 years ago.
And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Sorry, Garrett, go ahead.
I was going to say, after we beat the Crew 2 years ago, we started to see some U.S. soccer reactions, or the implication that there was going to be reactions from U.S. soccer. And we might have tamed a little bit of what made this club known for what it was in terms of the reactions and the experiences. From what I'm seeing this year, it seems like we're going back in the direction of what made us us.
Thank you, John Glazer.
Yes. And as evidenced by what we saw against the Michigan Stars in the Open Cup when we scored that goal, and the, dare I say, lack of response for that. Perhaps,
I don't know what you're talking about, Gary. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying in general, not just from our club, the game, but just the U.S. soccer in general. I think they are the people that are realizing it, because money's the deciding thing that causes anything related to soccer in this country. They realize that, especially USL, that there is money in promoting the cool shit with the smoke and the flares and the fires in the stands, and a lot of that is us, those that are in supporter stands in Keyworth, any given time.
You know, if that's the case, USL needs to do something that is much more substantial than what they're currently doing now.
The ball's in their court to take the next step.
I'm telling you, the broadcasts that they have with CBS, yeah, that's great. It's awesome. I'm glad that they have that.
Yep.
But that doesn't put them at any different level than MLS. MLS does that too.
Yeah.
USL has to do something that is much more substantial and sets them apart from MLS. Because, like I said, MLS already has that. What are they going to do for themselves that sets them apart? But anyways, sorry. Last thing from me, Pride Raiser, go and make your pledge. Yep. ngs.prideraiser.org. You can go ahead. You can make your pledges now. Head over to that website. And because June's right around the corner.
And currently, right now, the Detroit Pride Raiser for 2024 is
$511.
$514.69.
Oh, it went up. It went up $3.
So the cent amount, very nice number. If we can keep that cent amount total, very nice. Y'all are real ones.
What was it, $513.69?
$514.69.
$514.69.
It might be a little bit more because I gotta do my pledge. Jaime, what do you got for us tonight?
Got a good many things to say.
Yeah! Seek!
No, do I have anything to say? Probably not.
Oh, God.
I thought at first maybe I had a lot of things. Now I'm thinking maybe nothing. What I will say is go support the women. Go support your local Del Taco. Go support trees. And
shout out to trees.
What?
Shout out to trees, and that's, I mean, that's typical from somebody from Ann Arbor. I mean,
exactly.
Gotta love those trees.
In the name.
Producing all that oxygen that we breathe.
Yep.
And
shout out to oxygen.
Shout out to oxygen.
Oxygen, real ones.
And shout out to Dennis. I don't know if anyone said hello to Dennis yet, but I miss you. We don't know where you are, but
oi, bro, we missed the crack.
We would look if we cared. Yeah, but yeah.
Are you doing like some Irish things or something right now?
I mean, Chicago is like mini Ireland.
Some Chicago Irish things.
Shirish
things.
Shirish dates. Yeah, totally Shirish dates. So we are at, okay, so by the way, there's about to be an update in the NGS pledge total, because it is now going to be, as I am about done with here, sign these things. Okay, zonk, pledge. You are now up to, oh, for fuck's sakes, I'm trying to do this.
520.69.
Yeah,
hey.
520.69. So if you have, it's nice, like the cost that you're doing, like rebuilds, like everything to help benefit the LGBTQ community, especially Ruth Ellis Center for the work that they do, LGBT, the youth, and those that are displaced. There are 8 matches in June, men and women, plenty of opportunity for goals, plenty of opportunities to make your part involved with it. So it has been a monumental week and a half, I'd say, for this club. Something that warmed my heart was, despite the bleak conditions that I bitched about on Saturday, seeing the family stand as packed as it was, like loaded and safe, not having to really fight to tell the kids to get away from the fence line because they're seeing what's going on at the stand across the field and wanting to do that shit. I think it's a good vibe. I hope we can continue in that. There's a good buzz, I feel like, with this club this year, and that's a good thing to have, to live, especially with how last year was. And I'm very curious to see what happens moving forward, both with the men and the women. The women, it starts this Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Keyworth Stadium, the home opener versus Flint City. Seriously, come up, come out, support the women. It's going to be a fun match. And, you know, looking forward to it. Detroit City's mindset on the field is going to be like the banner that the group of flats that were displayed on Saturday's match. Search and destroy. So, and then we got the men next Wednesday, Open Cup, Indy 11, round of 16. Let's fucking go. And yeah, win, lose, or draw, City overall, Les Rouge and Les Or forevermore. I mean, Alan, Adam, Garrett here. Until next time, night, motherfuckers.
Peace and love.
Hell yeah.
City till I die, say hi to the bad guy. Pretty gritty in the key, you see our flag fly, chin check, hashtag we came to sweep the leg. With all disrespect, the rules will bruise your head. 2012 the scene pop, we came to clean clocks. Your team is dream drop, we gave some mean knocks, stomping on the comp. Yeah, we chomping on the bit. Many came and went, but they ain't stopping none of it. Community built, community owned, roasting foes coast to coast. Leave your hope postponed, spirit of